Ruto's Bogeyman. What? Yeah. And there's a picture of a former President Uhuru Kenyatta, the fourth president of the Republic of Kenya, as well as the party leader, Abi, chairman of the party, the Jubilee Party, with Mount Kenya voting bloc seemingly defiant towards President Ruto's 2027 re-election. Ruto's appointment have turned their anger and frustration on retired President Uhuru Kenyatta. In what is becoming the norm, the Ruto administration has made Uhuru its punching bag whenever it's under pressure from Kenyans to deliver on their promises in an attempt to deflect attention. And during the weekend, the Kenya Kwanza wingmen went all out with a barrage of criticism and threats on Uhuru, a clear indication of a rattled and unsettled team coming to terms with the fact that the vote-rich region is slipping away right before their eyes. I want to quote Dismas Mokoa, political analyst, his quote is here on the front page. The praise and attack strategy is meant to rattle former President Uhuru Kenyatta so that he moves to the knowns matrix. This state will enable presidential candidates to recalibrate their 2027 strategies. You know what I think it is? I don't think it's trying to scare Uhuru Kenyatta. I think what it is it's trying to deflect attention to the reason why your strategy may not be working. So if you give a dog a bad name, already a dog is seen as then you want to give a dog a bad name, you're hoping that it will cast some kind of positive light on you. Unfortunately, in a lot of cases, it backfires. Nominator Senator Karen Nyamu came out over the weekend and said, Uhuru Kenyatta, I mean, for goodness sake, somebody needs to ensure that the batteries in the brain-to-mouth filter is actually working before some people are let loose on audiences. She actually went out and said, if you're going to give money, why are you not giving this money? Why are you supporting these Linda Mwananchi who are going to Western? She basically said, if you're going to give money, Uhuru Kenyatta, I call out Uhuru Kenyatta, if you're going to give money, and she said, this Linda Mwananchi is Linda Uhuru. If you're going to give money, why don't you give it to Akina Methu or those other guys, Akina Gashagwa? Give it to people in Central. Don't give it to people, wengine usiwapatie pesa. And I said, oh my God, these same people that we've been saying that are not being tribal or we're not, what are we doing? Anyway, Uhuru Kenyatta is now the new punching bag. Well, he's been there for a minute, but he's the punching bag of everybody else at the moment who, for some reason, may not want to have fingers pointed
Interesting
at themselves.
How, when you asked why you're not delivering, having been elected into office, all you decide to do is to look for someone else to blame for your own failures.
Kabisa?
You know.
That's what I said, and we just went on and on and on from Senator.
You know, it's like when I hear people ask opposition, what's their agenda? No, it is not them who said they would give Kenyans a shot that is working. They are not in office to implement anything. So when we ask you what you're doing with the deliverables you gave Kenyans and it is zero, I am sorry.
It's like somebody asks you, Ndu, you said you were going to arrange this thing from left to right. It's a typical Adam and Eve situation. Adam, did you eat of the fruit of the tree that I told you not to eat? Then what did Adam say? It is this woman
who gave it to me.
Then even the woman was asked, she says, it's this snake. This serpent.
Did you eat it?
Did you eat it? It's this serpent.
Yes.
Did you fix the thing? It's these people who are giving money to these Wengine.
It's as if, even if Uhuru was giving money to those other people, okay, fine.
Alafu?
What's up with the roads? What's up with the 100 dams? What's up with your accountability queries as a senator? What's up with you as member of parliament and representation and oversight and legislation? Have you delivered on those?
What about the people? All I want to say is that they don't really care about us.
Yes.
Conservationists raise alarm over plan to relocate animal orphanage. That's the story that's on page 2 of the Standard. And stars shine at the Kalasha Awards amid calls for industry reform. There have been calls in terms of the support that the industry gets and what it can actually do. I think the president had a light bulb moment when he was at the Kalasha Awards and he realized, salala, alala. These arts can actually be a thing. Okay. That people have actually made their whatever. Then he said, I care about the arts. If I hadn't cared about the arts, would I have invited those Grammy people and paid how many millions for us to be realized?
It was $500,000.
Okay.
Okay.
It was in the millions of dollars.
Okay.
So I care about the thing, guys. So you're going to be seeing a lot more in the area. Let's just put it like that, because I don't know what else
in the
to
sector,
say.
Right?
Something, I don't know. I don't know if it ended with Kalash on Saturday night, or it's actually going to be a thing that we're going to see more of into the future. I don't know. Or was it in the moment? You know how you're in the own moment and you can say things?
I'm just wondering, those artists were seated there, and every other time when they're being paid 2,000 bob from MCSK, what are they thinking at the time? Because remember, it's a government body that collects all these monies from media houses, from matatus, from businesses, and then after the year, you're given 2,000 bob.
Wololo.
See, Mimi, it is facts. You can ask out there.
My God. Yeah, so I don't know that he would... Yeah. I thought it was interesting also that The People Shall won Best Documentary in that... event, when it was actually a documentary that was done to highlight the inadequacies of the government of the day. And the president was also applauding that. So I wonder, is that acquiescence to a mistake? You know, I could be reading too much into this and philosophizing all of this.
You know, I think that's a moment where you're like, oh my God, it did. They're talking about me, but because you're there, brave face. You see, we are a democratic country. We allow people to actually speak. Only that when you get out and speak, you get disappeared.
This film can be a good thing, It seems
a good thing.
Let's see how far it will go now later. Central Kenya reels as families bury sons lost to alcohol. The illicit brew and all of this continues to be an issue. Rigathi and Dorcas Gachagua were very serious about this at some point. It seems that they still might be. Of course, Rigathi Gachagua in the last couple of days said, wameenda wamemwaga pombe sijui ya nini na sasa vijana wetu wanaumia sana. He said this just a couple of days ago. It seems like the illicit brew, it is an issue, and it is not about tribalism. It is about that it's 8 o'clock in the morning and people are not hungover, they're drunk.
True.
And you're looking at some serious numbers here. Crisis in numbers: 3,199,119 Kenyans using alcohol, according to the 2022 National Survey of the Status of Drugs and Substance. 22.5 million are males, 687,000 are female. 7 years is the minimum of initiation for 7 years old. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the initiation of alcohol. 74.1% of the people in central Kenya felt that there was an increase in their bars. 48.5% of Kenyans with perception say that there was an increase in the numbers of bars in the past 5 years in their community. It could speak to many things. It could speak to the mushrooming of business. It could speak to the fact that maybe it's an easy business to start and that people want to do something after work, or in this case, even before work. It could also speak to dependency on drugs to deal with issues. Hello? Okay. I'm just saying.
It's crazy. In my hood, I think I just saw how many? Two new bars,
Yeah.
And I think in less than 4 months, walking distance from here to there.
Coming from church at about 11 o'clock, or even going to church at about 9 o'clock, and their bars, you would think that it was 10 p.m. It's booming, twaffing, and people are still drinking at that hour in the morning, and then coming back is still the party just started at about 11. So you want to ask the question, what is it that people are running away from that they're going to
indulge
in, as CT would say, in these cultural establishments? Why? What is it? But now this is a question that's being asked. It seems to be a big issue.
3 million people is how many people? That would be almost half the number William Ruto got in votes.
And now drowning their sorrows in alcohol. Okay, sorry.
So that's just like the numbers. So just take that into account and think of how big a problem it is.
Yeah.